The podcast takes a turn today as we shift gears from VW bus life to VW bugs, and I have a special guest. Don't go away. Hello, and welcome to the Wilson the VW Bus Podcast, Season 5, Episode number 3. I'm your host, Joe, and today we're going to downshift from VW Type 2s to VW Type 1s. That's Volkswagen buses to Volkswagen Beetles for you non-VW folks. And I have a special guest to help me out. You may remember from Season 4, Episode 2, where we talked about how my son-in-law, Connor, purchased his first Volkswagen, a 1962 VW Bug, back in 2024. He got it tuned up, and he got it running great, drove it around, had some fun with it. But the heater channels needed work, and there were a few rust areas and crinkled sheet metal panels that really needed to be addressed. Well, Connor and I have been spending most Saturdays down in his garage doing some much-needed metal work on his Beetle. We started with the metal on the front nose, and we're working our way around the right side towards the rear. I strong-armed him into a quick interview after a nice, productive day in the garage. So we're at the Sickles garage. How many weekends does this make, like we've been doing this?
About 7 months worth of weekends that we've been working on this.
Pretty much either Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday or Sunday, sometimes a holiday. Just 8, 10, 12-hour days, just nonstop.
Well, I guess it's obvious, we're family, because otherwise,
Yeah, nobody does this for, because they just like someone.
Well, I do, because I like doing this stuff. So, where do we start? We started. Obviously, they're not gonna see this. We're not doing a video, but we started at the front end. You had a little waffle, I guess.
Yeah,
front.
The car was definitely had a front end collision years ago, so the hood was shot, and I guess you would call them like the front ears that connect to the front apron. They were all crinkled up to the point you couldn't straighten them out. So we essentially cut the whole front end off it, and I had to find a hood off Facebook. And
did we start with the hood? I forget. Was we did?
I think we started with the hood because I think you were the one that pointed out that if the hood's not straight, and if it's waffled, then you're never going to get the front end straight. You're not going to get the gaps right. So we started with the hood, and then the ears, and then the apron, and then the spare tire well, and then just kept working our way back.
Well, we did the passenger side first, and then did the driver side?
Yeah, the passenger side was worse. It was definitely more crinkled than the other side. So we did the passenger side ear, then cut off the driver's side, did the apron, and then just walked it back. Then had to patch the firewall and just keep going.
Yeah, because you had to do, what was the part you had to do down there by the Napoleon hat? The first thing you had to do over there in that front where you had the two big bolts that hold the body of the pan. Oh,
that was like the ends of the Napoleon hat.
Yeah.
And you can buy the whole Napoleon hat, or you can just make it yourself. So I elected to save money and just take some scrap steel and make the ends and drill holes and patch it all in that way.
Right. And the welder, you picked up this little Lincoln for $100, right?
$100, yep, $100 welder. On Facebook.
Runs great. Put a couple tips and a couple spools of wire and
put a sleeve on it. The biggest splurge is I had to buy the bottle. I bought the 60 cubic foot bottle. And I guess that would be the only complaint I have about this welder. It really likes the gas. Even if you turn it down, it just seems like it really empties the bottles pretty quickly.
Right. So once we got the front end on, then it was on to probably the worst part of the Bug, which was a known issue when you got it, but it was the heater channels and especially the A-pillar on this side, on the passenger side.
Yeah, so the channels we knew when we looked at it that I noticed that it was spray foam and Bondo and metal tile backer that they used to like form around the Bondo. So once we dove into the channels, you really realized like how much missing metal this car had. I mean, the passenger side A-pillar was so bad, when you would open the door would sag like 3 inches, and you would have to physically pick the door up and then close the door when you were ready to get in.
Right, and if you had the door open and you lifted on the back edge of the door, the whole bottom hinge kind of
moved in and out.
Moved off the body. It was only held on by the top hinge.
Yeah, there was the passenger side is the side we started with after we got the front end straightened out, because the passenger side was far worse than the driver's side. I mean, the driver's side is bad and it is going to get done, but the passenger side was definitely the worst of the two. I mean, there wasn't any good metal from the front wheelhouse all the way back to the rear body mount. I mean, everything was just holes and rotted, and I think the last guy, he just wanted to get it back on the road, so he figured spray foam and Bondo was okay, but it really wasn't doing anything.
And we don't think that Devi, the guy you got it from, I don't think he did this, do you? You think it was somebody before him?
Yeah, I think it was the guy before him, because he bought it off the original owner, so I want to believe that the original owner's grandson or nephew, went to Home Depot, got a couple cans of great stuff, and just went to town on it over a weekend.
Man. So we did get eventually, I mean, it probably took a weekend to get the old, maybe 2 weekends to get the old heater channel out off the side?
I think it was one weekend was just, we cut it out in pieces and we were able to hammer it out and got it out. And then I think the second weekend was spent just fitting the channel and just seeing how it's going to fit, because we're not taking the body off the pan. We had enough metal rotted that we were able to just cut away at the A-pillar and split the B-pillar and slide the channel underneath and work it from that way.
Right. It was definitely a lot of work. I think more than either of us expected. But it's in now. I mean, we got we put the new, what's the new rubber seal that goes between the pan and the...
New rubber seal, new bolts that bolt the channel to the pan. I mean, I know on YouTube everybody has an opinion. They'll tell you that you have to take the body off the pan, but you don't have to. I mean, if you're lucky enough to buy a bug that's as rotted as mine, you don't have to take the body off the pan. You could just hack all the rust off, and you have more than enough room to slide the channel in.
Right, and we braced it up. We took, what was the square box tubing and the angled tubing?
Yeah, square tubing and angle iron, and we made a square and then put gusseting use the angle iron as gusseting to strengthen it up.
Right, and basically welded from the A pillar to the B pillar on both sides, and then across from driver's to passenger side on both sides.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the driver's side is probably going to go easier because we know how to split it and take it apart. I mean, this is the first time either of us have ever done a heater channel on a bug, so there was a big learning curve in terms of, okay, how do we get this in, and how much do we cut off, and how do we get the rubber seal underneath the channel, and how do you make it all fit? That was, I think, the big problem for us originally when we were getting it all tied in.
Right, and the A pillar was probably the worst of it, because the piece itself, was that the Clocker Home piece?
Yeah, that was. I would never buy Clocker Home again if I didn't have to. I mean, it was. I think you said it best. The only thing it had going for it was that it was metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, the Autocraft one, which everybody raves, that's the top of the line. I got the Autocraft for the driver's side. The passenger side, they only had Clocker Home in stock, so I just bought it. And the Autocraft looks like you could just slide it right in and tack it in and it would work. I mean, the Clocker Home, it wasn't even close. I mean, we spent like a day and a half just reshaping and hammering on it and getting it into place.
Well, yeah, remember the bolts or the welded nuts for the hinge on that bottom one weren't even, there's three bolts that hold the hinge on, and only one of them was in line.
And on top of that, the hinge, the opening to slide the hinge into the A-pillar wasn't even big enough. We had to Dremel that all out, and so not only would the door not fit, the door hinge would not fit on the A-pillar, but then even if you got the door hinge into the A-pillar, you couldn't line any of the bolts up. So we had to take the nut plate off and cut and move the one nut over so that way it all lined up. But yeah, it was really poor quality, that piece. I mean, I have other Clocker home panels I used, and they were mediocre. They're okay, but definitely I wouldn't recommend to anybody buying the Clocker home A-pillar. Just spend the $10, $15 more and buy the Autocraft one.
Right. Unless you've got all these body hammers and dollies and
or like
brakes.
us where you're cutting a 2x6 and wedging it in there to try and make it fit, enough that you can weld it and then hammer and dolly it into place.
Right. So we started in the wintertime, and it was cold out here. We had the heater running, for an hour or two before we came in here, and I mean, now it's July, so it's. I mean, we just finished today. We finished the back of the heater channel and
the heater channel end cap. We had to put that in, which goes off the rear cross member, and the rear quarter panel. We finished that today. I mean, and this side's still not done. I mean, we got the bottom 2-3 inches of the passenger door is just filled with Bondo, and it's got holes in it, and still got the rear body mount to do. But then after that, this side will be soup to nuts, done, all metal, all fixed right, ready to go. It just needs to be seam sealed and then primered.
And then you've got to cut out the what's the little bracket there, the bumper bracket in the rear?
Oh, the rear, yeah. So, yeah, that too. The rear bumper bracket on the passenger side. The bracket itself is fine. It's the metal behind it. It's like a known issue where moisture gets behind there. I believe from like the muffler and the exhaust, it creates moisture and it gets behind that bracket. So the brackets don't even rot out. It's the metal behind it. So that I just got to scrape the undercoating off. That's 60 years old. Drill the spot welds out, take it off, and then cut and weld a new backer piece of metal in, and then tack it back on. So
it's been a lot of work. It's been a learning experience, to say the least, for both of us, because I haven't worked on a bug in, oh my goodness, 35 years. I don't even think my son was born when the last time I worked on a bug, and it was a kid car for my friend Barry. He had a little maxi taxi, and I had to chrome up the engine and give it a tune-up. That was the last, I think, bug I worked on. I mean, the bus, obviously, I did all that work a couple years ago, but I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this, even though it's been a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
I mean, I don't know if I'll ever do it again. I mean, this was a lot. It's fun, and it's great learning, and at the end of the day, you step back, and like some days you feel like you got nothing done, and then some days you step back and you're like, wow, I got a lot done. But I mean, I kind of understood that from working on motorcycles. You could be out there all day, and you go inside and it's like, oh, does it run yet? Nope, still doesn't run yet, but it looks a little better. But that was the big thing with this car. At least it ran and drove. So even though it was all rotted out and it was weathered, you could at least enjoy it. You could drive it and go get ice cream and cruise around in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that everything around the motor and transaxle was not great.
And you couldn't tell by looking at it. I mean, someone had rattle canned it with the flat black over all the exterior. So I mean, by looking at it, you really didn't see any major rust.
From 15 feet, it looked like a cool little car.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad doesn't even like Volkswagens. When we first looked at it, he was like, oh, that's a cool little car. But then once you really start to put your eyes on it, you're like, oh, this is going to need a full, it needs a lot of metal work,
Well, probably 2-3 more weekends we'll have this side done, hopefully. And then hopefully, and then we'll pull it out of the garage and spin it around and, I guess start on the driver's side.
Yeah, as long as it's not too hot. I mean, we're not gonna work out here because neither of us are gonna enjoy it when if it's 90 outside and 100 in the garage. Neither of us are gonna enjoy that. So as long as the weather's okay, we'll keep working on it. But if it gets hot, we'll just shut it down. We'll pick it back up in September. And just because August in Jersey, you're gonna start getting some warm days.
Yeah, and we got vacation plans, so we'll do that. But yeah, hopefully we'll do some videos and put some stuff on YouTube and just get an eyeball on it just for historical preservation, so we know what we've accomplished when it's all done.
I think a heater channel video would be good, because so many people are saying you have to take the body off, and you really don't have to. So people argue it's not the right way, but nobody is a professional body. Most people are professional body people that are restoring these cars. It's guys and girls in their garage and home or in their carport. So, and at the end of the day, it's still a repair. You could take the body off the pan and you can put the channel on and weld it all in and mate it up to the pan again. But at the end of the day, it's still a repair. It's not the original German, from the 60s channel. It's a repair, and it's always going to be a repair. So you might as well just get it done and have fun with it.
And I don't think either of us wanted to try to take some video of our first heater channel and put that online, because I was like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. And especially when you start getting the blocks of wood out and you're trying to wedge it in enough, and it was. I would say it's definitely not a job. I mean, I've never done metalwork before up to this car, and it's definitely not something I would have taken on if I wasn't going to get help with it. I just would not have even dreamed of being like, okay, I'm going to take like this main structural support out of a car and put it back in. It's just not something I would have been comfortable doing. Well, I mean, your welds are great. The welder's working great. You've got plenty of tools here, and from where you started, on your first couple of welds, and you've just been taken off. You don't need me for anything. I mean, you buzzed in that quarter panel today, and it looks great. I mean, I'm
moral
looking
support.
Moral support. I mean, I do a lot more holding the flashlight on this job than pretty much anything else, and remembering to give you the glasses and the safety goggles and the gloves. But I mean, right now I'm looking at that quarter panel patch you put on, and you just hit it with a little rust preventative quick primer, and honestly, I can hardly even see it, and it's just in rough metal. So
that's just spray can Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer, which I think is probably one of the best products I bought so far for this car. Yeah,
and it's just temporary holding on there till we finish, and we'll put some DP90 on all our work, and then we'll get to the bodywork stuff, but that probably won't be until, I don't think we're getting the bodywork until probably next spring, because by the time we get done with both sides, it'll probably be springtime.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you, Connor, for giving me the update on the 62 VW Beetle.
No problem.
And we'll come back with another episode. We'll let them know how quickly it went on the driver's side.
Yeah, yep, can't wait.
Yeah. If you'd like to hear more about the progress of the 62 Beetle, let me know. Connor and I will hopefully have the metalwork finished in a few months. After all, we are only working on it about one day a week for a few hours. That's going to do it for this episode, but please come back and join me next time as we continue to talk about more Volkswagen adventures here on Wilson, the VW Bus.